Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to work a foundationless double crochet, also known as foundation double crochet. So to start, you'll put a slip knot on your hook, and then you'll chain 3. So now you'll yarn over and you'll insert your hook into this first stitch here. And then you'll yarn over again and pull up a loop. So rather than yarning over and pulling through 2 loops like you would to form a double crochet, instead you'll yarn over and only pull through 1 loop. This forms the bottom of your piece. So now you'll work your double crochet by yarning over and pulling through 2 loops, yarning over and pulling through the other 2. So what you've just created is the bottom of your work and your double crochet. So a chain 1 and a double crochet. And this chain 3 does count as your first stitch. To continue working this, continue by working in this chain 1 that you just created. So you'll yarn over and insert into this chain 1, and I'm just going to turn my work so you can see that I'm working through both loops here. Insert, then I'll pull up a loop. To avoid tension issues, you want to make sure that your chain 1 is not too tight, otherwise you'll get something called slanting. I have a couple methods to fix that we'll go over in a minute. So now you'll yarn over and pull through 1 loop. This forms your chain 1, and now you'll work your double crochet by yarning over, pulling through 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. So you can see I just formed a chain 1 and my double crochet. Now repeat this however many times your pattern states. In this case, I'm just going to repeat it 4 more times. Sometimes when you work this stitch fast, you can get something called slanting, and that's due to your tension issues of your chain 1 compared to your DC on top. Same issue occurs if you do a foundationless half double crochet or a foundationless single crochet. So you can actually see that it's starting to slant a little bit, and I deliberately made my chain 1s a little bit tighter to showcase this issue. You'll get sometimes this bending, a curving, or just a little bit of a slant, depends on your tension. To fix this issue, you can either undo your work, or you can do what I always do, which is just lightly tug on it. So I'm just tugging on the bottom to release some of the tension. Depending on the yarn, you may want to be gentle. But in this case, this one's an acrylic blend. And you can see that kind of helps alleviate some of the tension issues that I was experiencing. So it's up to you whether or not you want to redo it and try and get perfect tension, or just tug on it. Now, let's say that I'm happy with this and I need to start my next row. You'll just continue as you normally would in any pattern, as though you had worked in a foundation chain. So in this case, I'm just gonna chain 1 and just work some double crochets across. You recall that I said the chain 3 in the beginning counts as your first stitch, and I will show you what that looks like at the end here. Okay, so you can see that I've gotten to my end, and here's my chain 3. So this is the top of my chain 3 here. You want to make sure that you work into this. If you ever find that the chain 3 is just too tall or too loose and is creating too much of a gap for you, you can always do a chain 2 instead in the beginning rather than a chain 3, and just work into the top of the chain 2. In this case, I did 3, so I'm going to work into the chain 3, the top of the chain 3. If you ever miss this stitch, it's really easy when you do a chain 2 to miss this stitch because it's quite small. But it'll become pretty apparent because you'll be missing a gap in the corner here, and your stitch count will be off. But yeah, just like that. That's how you work a foundationless double crochet.